And we'll start in reverse alphabetical order with the questions this time. You'll each have a minute to answer this. Do you believe that the Collier County Public Schools should reject federal funding? If yes, how would you fund the mandated programs? Ms. Penda?
I think we need less intrusiveness from the federal government, and if that means not taking all the federal money they're dangling in front of us, I say yes. I think some of the shortfall in that funding to replace it would be our reserve fund. Also, the millage rate is going to be changed, and that'd be a source of income. Also, examining the programs that we have in our school district right now to see which are effective, which are not effective. If they work, fine. If they don't, we need to either fix them or get rid of them. So I think there'd be a big saving in the top-heavy administration part of our budget to make up that shortfall.
Very good. Ms. Lucarelli? You need a question again?
I am not in favor of rejecting federal funding because that's $57 million that we have raised that our children that live here in Collier County deserve. The programs that the federal funding supports right now, there's 25 plus programs, including the exceptional student education, the ROTC, the Title I, the free and reduced lunches for our students. Those programs need to be funded either way. They're programs that we have to have. And so if we reject that funding, of course, we need to raise that money again. And the bottom line to me is that our taxes somehow will go up, because if we can't find $57 million in our budget, which I do not believe that we can, we are going to have to raise taxes. Our school district has already cut $54 million out of our budget over the last 6 years. That is pretty impressive, but I feel that we are running, for the most part, pretty bare bones. So I am not in favor of refusing federal funding.
Mr. Dixon?
I believe that anything that we can do to get out from underneath the federal thumb, we should do. Now, whether or not we look at our millage rate, which is about the 1.5 mils, is about to shift back from operating back to capital and keeping it in operating, going through the current budget that we have with a fine-tooth comb to find every penny, or even looking at our staffing levels, which we know going back as far as 2008 when the last accreditation review was done, and they said we were 26% higher than we should be in administration. Now, I know, having read in the paper the last few weeks, that there's been a lot of free and loose opinions about people who don't want the federal money and how we want to eliminate ESE and ROTC. I have an ESE son. I was also an ROTC cadet, including Cadet of the Year. So if you want to accuse me of wanting to get rid of ROTC and ESE, it's just flat out wrong.
Mr. Carter?
Yeah, I think we should keep federal funding. The issue is this. First of all, it's not like it's their money anyways. The government doesn't have a job. They take money, and it's our money they're giving back to us. So that's the whole thing to begin with. So, and the other thing is, too, is that, you know, it's a big wrap-up around a political issue, whether it's testing, which is actually mandated by the state, or whether it's transgender. You know, the federal government's going to do what the federal government wants to do. And the thing of it is, they're going to pass laws. Whether we take the money or not, we're going to have to abide the laws, because if we don't, then we're going to face a lawsuit as a district, and that's not something I'm prepared to do. We can only increase our taxes 90% of what our entitlement is. So if we lose $57 million, it's not going to affect our standardized testing, because that's dictated by the state. It's not dictated by the federal government. So I think keeping the federal funding is the way to go. I think what we have to do is we have to, it just doesn't make sense to me to get rid of $57 million. Our income last year for 15 and 16 was $571 million, and that's 10% of that.
All right.